All right, we'd like to welcome y'all to Transform You, where we do live coaching. And today we have Kasia, all the way from Poland in
Poland.
the United States, right? Why don't you introduce yourself, Kasia, and then tell us what you would like to work on, and we'll jump right in.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Kasia and I'm originally from LA. I moved to Poland for a horse because my life revolves around horses and I am an equine connection coach. I also do equine assisted learning with my horses. My horses have helped transform my life incredibly. A complete 180 and then again a 180. They just keep changing my life over and over and over, which is why I am committed to helping horses all over the world. And in this process of healing myself with my horses, I am also committed to helping others heal as well. And why I'm on here today is because I've been working so much on my business, on my art business, painting horses, being really emotional in that, working on one-on-one coaching, doing online webinars, all of this stuff where I want to expand my barn, rescue more horses. But the financial aspect of this seems to be limiting me. And, the more I work, it's not necessarily that the finances reflect that. There seems to always be a block. And if I do make a big, large lump sum and I get, really excited, like, yes, maybe I can expand my barn, build another couple stalls. No, because something else pops up.
Mhm.
So I started thinking, could be this, this, this. I started doing all of these things, all of the self development, mentorship programs, and I just feel like there is a block, and I'm searching for a way to blow that block up. I don't want that block. The horses don't want that block. The people who are waiting for me to come help them, they don't want that block because, the more I have in my finances, the more I can expand my retreat center.
Yeah.
So help me.
I
Please.
love this. Yeah, I was just on a personal note. I have three sisters, and two of my sisters are horse fanatics. Ever since they were babies, they have loved horses. Love, 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 love. So I know your heart from them. I mean, it's they have children, they marry now, but they never ever lost their love for horses. So, I love that, seeing that, but seeing how involved you are and the life that they give you and the life that you give them, and then connecting the dots with that on being able to see the beauty and the healing from it all. And really, it's obviously you've come up with some type of system and strategy to be able to give to others. I love that. And definitely we want the blocks gone. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So how do you have a sense there even is a block? And what is it, what kind of insight do you have around that? Like, do you have any sense of when you think it began or any experiences that are connected to it?
I feel like there is a block because I have big goals, huge goals, which makes people generally laugh when I say them.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's a good amount, but in the past year, like my goal has been to have and to rescue and to have 88 horses. But I feel like now that goal is too small. That goal used to make people laugh, but now I have even bigger goals. And I'm putting it out there into the universe that this is what I want to do. I recognize that I might need some certifications and things like that to legally work with certain age groups. And so I put it out there into the universe. And yes, I have manifested some stuff, but there's still this block. I feel like I cannot rescue the horses that I want to rescue. I cannot afford the kind of care and rehabilitation that they would also need. And, I'm even struggling with a couple of my horses right now whose vet bills will total over $50,000.
Okay.
So I don't know, I'm working so hard all hours. I'm doing the meditations, I'm embodying it. but there's only so long that I can feel like I can embody it. When I go a couple months and, you know, for example, my main thing is that I make most of my sales and most stuff from my horse artwork right now.
Okay.
My passion and my mission is in my coaching with people.
Yeah.
However, I've been trying to do that and develop it for years, and it hasn't really blossomed in the way to be able to provide me that kind of financial stability where I can then, you know, pay for everything here and focus 100% of my attention on my clients.
Yeah.
I cannot do that when I'm stressing about paying for vet bills.
Right.
And I just feel like I'm constantly clawing, and I have this big vision, you know, and I'm taking inspired action. I'm not giving up. I'm doing what it takes. Yes, I am making time to rest, but like there was 2 months where, you know, I decided I'm just going to step into my highest self. I am going to embody the money is already here. And I was very happy the first month. I felt really good. Lots of self-care, lots of time with the animals, doing some work here and there. Nothing happened, and I made zero art sales that month. And so that got me a little nervous, but no, I trust and I have faith. And, you know, after 2 months now, you know, I have 18 mouths to feed. All of my animals, their special needs as well, their issues. Now, like, I don't have that emergency fund set aside for so many months.
Right.
And so after 2 months, it was like, I cannot embrace this feminine energy of I'm just going to attract it. I cannot do that anymore. I literally have to buckle down and start working 12 hours or more a day.
Yeah.
With taking care of all of my responsibilities. And I honestly just feel overwhelmed. And I would love this to come with ease, and the finances to come with ease as well. Not like I'm fighting for it. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like in terms of the block, it's not really clear what the block is and
Yeah.
whether there is a block, right? There's a grand vision, which I certainly support and
Yeah.
love. And then there's the timing to get to the vision, right? And so you're saying that possibly that you're saying you have this grand vision and you're moving at it quicker than your resources, right? Which is creating an inherent stress,
Yeah.
right? So
yes,
I think that's part of the issue, and it doesn't mean that you need to stop the vision, but it does mean to what is the wisdom in terms of the decision that you make next and how fast you expand. Is that part of it? I mean, that's one question. It's just pacing yourself at a level that works for you, right? Because if you go faster than the way that works for you, it's going to create an inherent stress. The second issue is there an emotional block that keeps me? Sometimes when I hear emotional block, I hear people saying that I have a part of me that's actually working against the vision that I have. So I have this grand vision of 88 or double that or triple that horses. And then I have a part of me that is possibly working against that, and that which I would consider the block. So I guess my follow-up question would be, is there or are you aware of a part of you that seems to be resistant to the vision or seems to be holding you back?
I feel like there is some part of me. I've been doing some digging and like uncovering and taking off the layers of the onion to go deeper and deeper. The last layer that I uncovered was feeling like I have to work hard to earn the money. But I also feel like I'm working so hard that I definitely deserve a lot more money than I am receiving right now. And another recent kind of block that came up for me, which maybe I'm not done processing this enough, but the most recent one was that I have to be in a struggle and challenged and between a rock and a hard place
Mm-hmm.
for me to tap into my truest creativity. Because I was talking with someone about it, and then I got like a light bulb moment, like, oh my gosh, I'm subconsciously maybe setting up all of these blocks and these maybe outrageous situations that maybe in 20 years would be very doable, but I want to do this in like a couple years, in 5 years. So like maybe I'm subconsciously committed to doing all of these things so quickly so that I do hit these obstacles, which sparks that creativity in me. And what's coming to me right now is that maybe this has to do with some kind, I have to close my eyes. This just
That's
helps.
okay.
I feel too distracted by seeing things. But what's coming to me is like when I was in third grade, and I felt very proud of my creativity and artistic skills, but no one really, oh, good job, yay, you can paint. Okay. But no one really appreciated that side of me. And so I felt I had to hide that. And I had to work so hard at math and English and all of these things because that's successful. Like, if you're not able to do this, math, English, science, you're going to be homeless. And so I thought, well, like all of this art stuff is pointless. And so maybe there's a block like somewhere deep down that if I use my creative side, my creative way to handle problems, my artistic capabilities, that I can prove to my parents, prove to myself as well, and prove to all of the teachers that yes, I can be successful using that creative side of me. That I don't need to be an amazing math guru, whatever, that I can be successful with my creativity. Maybe that's why I'm pushing myself so hard in this sense.
Yeah. So the belief system from the family or from society, what you've experienced is that art is not really worth anything. And
creativity
and creativity
like I have a creative way to do things, even to present something or dress a certain way or have fun with it, do it in a song, and no one else did that. And so I always felt like I wanted to have fun with it and be creative, and it was always just like, well, no one else is doing that, that's weird, don't do that.
Are you ready for a journey of self-discovery and healing? Introducing A Roadmap to the Soul, a practical guide to love, compassion, and inner peace. This book offers practical tools and insights to navigate your inner landscape, release emotional blockages, and embrace your authentic self. Start your transformational journey today by getting your copy now. See the link in the description. And now, back to the lesson.
So you have to fit in the box.
Yes.
And so now that you've chosen as an adult to not fit in the box and to express your life and your financial world through creation, the messages are still there though. Even though you're doing it, it's like you're still pushing up the mountain, because the message is, this is not how you do it. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be in the box. That's how you get successful. But the truth is that for you, being successful is being creative and allowing that for expression. That brings you joy and happiness. But then there's this other belief system that's pushing, that has been ingrained for many years. You correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm seeing it right. So in that, it's like, as you move, then you have to work. The message is, if you're going to do this, you have to work 50 times harder, because the other message is, if you did it this way, it'd be a lot quicker and simpler, even though that's not true for you. But that's the message that has been told over and over and over. Am I saying it right? Yes. So What is what, I mean, to your best knowledge or your perception, what is your mother's view? How does she value money and what's important with money? Like, where's, you know, her bringing it in, her spending it, and then your father's value of money, him bringing it in and him, what he puts it, puts it out on. How are
Mhm.
they, how are those two things that you grew up with?
So they divorced when I was very young,
Okay.
and so I spent most of my time with my mom
Okay.
until I got into courses, which my dad supported me
Mhm.
financially because my mom didn't see that as something very important and also maybe dangerous to be
Okay.
around horses, and she didn't want that for me.
Okay.
But she allowed my dad to take me and go riding. So he
Mm.
um, paid for that.
Mhm.
And in regards to money management and earning, my mom was an accountant. So
Oh.
she was very by the books, very strict. I mean, being a single mom of
Mhm.
two as well, living in Los Angeles.
Mm.
So I understand now as an adult why she didn't allow me to have certain Barbies, for example,
Yeah.
or something like that, because she really needed to prioritize.
Yeah.
It was very like budget, only this, only this.
Right.
And so as a kid, working through my processes and
Right.
things like that and understanding and doing inner child work, I felt unworthy
Yeah.
of the pretty Barbie. I
Yeah.
felt like okay with the cheap Barbie because that's what I, as a child, felt I was worth.
Yeah.
Or even no Barbie, maybe just stickers,
Yeah.
for instance. Whereas my dad was more the opposite.
Mhm.
He was a business consultant and he was flying all over the world. And he would bring me lots of gifts and lots of toys. And my mother made me feel very guilty about it.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm.
He didn't see me, and it was like making up for it almost with
Yeah.
Yeah.
these toys and wanting to show me his love through these toys.
Yeah.
But then having them in the home with my mom, mm, she just said how unfair it was for my father to give me all of these toys.
Yeah.
Like for Christmas, he would literally bring a huge black trash bag full of presents.
Yeah.
But I felt guilty playing with these toys because this is also something, oh, this is also another point that's interesting. As a business consultant, business is for bad people,
Mm.
Ah.
basically. Because if you're doing business, and my dad did business all over the world, like
Mhm.
globally, a lot in Europe, Poland, Kazakhstan, Africa, like he was everywhere. Um, and for her, it was just like he must have done something
Ah.
bad.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we also had some multimillionaires in our family, not blood related, but long story. But we spent time with them every holiday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the comments as well that I heard about them showing off or being
Mhm.
very cheap, for instance. Whereas now, when I'm working on my money mindset, I'm seeing
Yeah.
they weren't showing off, they were celebrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as a
You as an
child,
adult. You as
yeah.
an adult. So
Child,
the,
Yes.
yeah.
This is all very, very
yeah,
important,
yeah.
Kasia. This is good. This is
So the
really good. Okay.
question, just a general question, do you want to be good or bad?
I want to be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you can't do business.
They're right. And you can't be rich.
Well, not that you can't.
Right. But you
Well,
see,
Yeah,
I
I'm
see.
hearing it. I'm hearing it. I know
yeah.
what you
You
So
can't, right. You got
so
it, honey. That's it.
so
Oh, I
part
got
of it.
chills all over. This is it. This is it.
So Kasia,
Yeah.
you have
Mhm.
the way to deal with it is
Mhm.
two different ways. One is
Yeah.
you have to empower the vision, which you're already doing.
Right.
You have your vision.
Yes.
You're empowering it. You're doing the things to project it, to connect spiritually with God and to manifest it.
Yes.
All right. That's an important step.
Very.
But the other important step is to reconcile our history.
Yeah.
Right? To come at peace with our history, to where it's settled to the place where it's no longer actively having impact on us.
Where it has too
Now,
much power.
Yeah. And so our experiences, our past experiences, create emotional impact, right? And inside the emotional impact is what I call emotional beliefs that are subconscious, but they're there. And so, so if I hear that money can't buy happiness and I want to be happy, I may not believe that as an adult man, but there might be a part of me that still has that emotional belief that says, okay, if you get a lot of money, you surely won't be happy. And so there's I'm working hard every day, but I have another part of me that says in order to be happy, I can't. So what's important is to unravel the emotional impact of those experiences, which also helps us begin to unravel the emotional beliefs connected to it and helps let it go. So you articulated so well, so many beliefs because you had your mom who was needed to living in Los Angeles, raising two, single mom, and needed to make sure she was a good steward of her money.
And I want to add to that is the way her brain worked was very linear. Math. This is the rule and this is how you do it. And then she made money doing that as well. So it's like her brain worked in that area and this is how she made money. And then this is how she made sure that y'all had your needs met, not your wants, your needs and a few wants because she, it was like she had to live in that box, in that accounting box, right?
Oh, something's coming up for me if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here. So one thing that she always told me was to be realistic. And that my dreams are very unrealistic and out there.
Exactly.
Whereas it was very conflicting for me because my dad is like the exact opposite.
Right.
Hear like what my dreams and be like, what? That's it? Like, was so much more.
Yeah, I love it.
This and I'm like,
yeah,
like it's so confusing.
Well, the other interesting thing about that, Kasia, is that you have this dichotomy of your dad and your mom,
right? In their belief system, yes, with money,
and you also have the reality that you grew up in the divorce,
right? And so you love both of them.
In some sense, what happens is that because of the divorce, you've also had to divorce those two in your own mind. Right. And so what really your freedom is going to be when you are able to honor both, and we can show you how to do that.
Yes.
And both of those will be reconciled in you.
Yeah.
In a sense that you'll have the best of your mom, the best of your dad, and so in talking with your mom, you have the stewardship that you get from her, but you also get the dreaming of your dad. And that's really who you are. When you talk, it's like you have both of them in you. You're saying, okay, I need to steward this so that I can expand in this way. And it's very much like your mom. And then you're like, I have this grand vision that's so big that people laugh because of whatever. But I know it can happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it with my dad. I believe it. There's something inside of me that no matter what anybody says, I know that this is going to become a reality.
Right. Well, I want to go here too, which is so important what you're saying, Dean, is that for you, because they were divorced, is that what we have to be able to do is for you to, like, I just see it like a vacuum, like suck up the goodness of both of those things, right? That it can't be one or the other for you.
Mhm.
Because it's like in your art business, right? Obviously you're this fabulous artist. In this art business, there has to be some structure, right? When you paint, how much you're going to sell it for, whatever the A's and B's and C's of getting your art to the world, right? So there has to be some business sense to all of that in a box, even though the creation of what's coming out of you is, just like your dad, just like, woo,
Yes.
but it's got to be in this sequence to make sure that you're receiving what needs to be received and make sure that all the A to Z is done, right? That no one is taking advantage of you and all of those things, and that they're getting the art and it's packaged and all that goes with business in that sense. But then the explosion of creation is the other side. But it's like taking your dad where he goes and who he was and who he is, and you have that experience of a father that wasn't afraid to do what he did. And then, unfortunately, your mother saw that as something that was really not good with that. Like something had to be, a little, you know. But the truth is that he was a fabulous businessman and consultant, and everybody all over the world wanted to know how to do, his help, right? He was a coach. And in those days, today they called it consulting. Today we call it coaching, right? So he was this fabulous business coach, right? That did it very differently than the box.
Yeah, what's crazy right now? I wrote this down, how much I admire my father, because when he needed, or when he saw an opportunity or heard about in this country or something, Armenia, for instance, let me just learn Armenian. He
Yes.
knows 6 languages
That's
fluently,
amazing.
and
Yes.
he's just like, I don't have that part from him. I do not pick up languages like he does, but he is just so good with, oh, I need to learn a new language. Okay,
Yeah.
that's no big deal. Like that's
But
normal.
you are like that, Kasha. You are. You are, because you said my animals are needy. And obviously, if they are, you are searching for the solutions for them. And you're also searching for the solutions for you. So you are like your father in the sense that you're not going to stop, because you're going to continue to search for the answers. And that's
Yes.
what he did.
Yeah.
Now, he did it in language, but you're
Yep.
doing it with yourself personally. I'm not saying he didn't, but for you, it's integration into yourself. Like, I'm not going to let anything in front of me stop me from the vision that God gave me, the desires in my heart. And then it's like you're not just picking like the most healthiest animal and going, okay, let's go, let's do whatever we do, right? No, you're picking these animals that need attention and love and care on another level and bringing them back to health. Okay, so it's like you have this. Well, I see. Okay, what I see is like, I don't know what it's called, but the Japanese, they'll take these bowls that are broken and then they pour gold in them and they're more beautiful. Yeah, I see you as you have the heart for the broken, but it's not just that you have a heart for the broken, is that you're pouring gold in them and they're becoming more beautiful. And it's like, yeah. So it's like you do have what your father has. It just looks
It looks
different.
different.
Right. And you have what your mother has because you have a business and you have to make money so you can do what you do. And where I find that the message is it's okay to make money and you can't have too much of it, right? We need just enough, but not too much, because you've done something maybe under the table that's not healthy, right? Or sinful, or whatever the word people use. But it's like, okay, in that, because she had to work so hard for what she was able to do for y'all, and she had to say no so much. It's like you still have that in you. And it's like to be able to say, I loved how you also said, and this is now as an adult, I understand where she was coming
Yeah.
from. It makes sense to me. But where I want you to separate that is to say, I don't have to go there. But when you hear that message, is that, you know, of something's wrong, right? I shouldn't be doing this. Why is this so difficult? Why is this so difficult? It's like, it was difficult when I was a little girl, But the truth is that I just have to understand more and allow myself to love myself in those messages, and that I'm not doing anything wrong. And it was difficult when I was little, and it was sad for my mom that she couldn't give us what we wanted or what, the other little kids had. And it was hard. But the truth is today that I'm not sure the timeline of when it will break with the 88 plus, but that is what will happen.
Yeah. I would also like to add what I'm seeing. Do you have a picture of your parents' marriage, of their wedding?
No.
Do you
No.
have any pictures of them together? Does anybody have a
I
picture of
don't
them?
personally. I would have to ask them.
Okay.
Well, this is my suggestion.
Okay.
Is to ask to see if you can find any pictures of their wedding.
Mhm.
Because what I believe that represents is
that's
your
beautiful.
financial freedom.
Wow.
Your financial freedom has to do with the marrying of both of them inside of you. It has nothing to do with them and them
Right.
not being reconciled or anything. But there was a time, because you were born in love
You were born in love.
between your mom and dad.
Yeah.
And the wedding was a moment where their partnership was fully intact.
Yeah.
And what we're calling for you financially is to have the partnership of the best of your mom
Yeah.
and the best of your dad to be fully intact before heaven.
Yeah.
And that's the place, I believe, where the full reconciliation happens. So it has nothing to do with their relationship. It has everything to do with their partnership and that partnership of both of their best being married inside of you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. I'm a very symbolic person, and I absolutely love what you just said, and it makes so much sense. And I feel like a sense of peace.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in my chest, like when a cat, I'm a big cat person.
Yeah, it's
A
good.
cat like goes around in a little circle and then lays down. I feel like there's a little cat, a little kitten who just felt so safe to just go in a little circle and lay down and curl up. So I feel a sense of safety and relief right now. So
Oh, that's so good.
It's so good.
The other thing I thought that if you couldn't get that for whatever reason, is that you could draw it, whatever that looks like for you.
Mhm.
It could be a dark navy blue and a beautiful cream white, and they, whatever that looks like, and that represents the best of the best for them,
Of the marrying
of the
two.
marriage of them, and that in that that's what you're drawing from, because most of your life, it appears, was about their disagreements, and you in the middle of that, you and your sibling in the middle of that, and trying to breathe through that, love them both, receive them both, not cause pain, not, playing with the doll and being so grateful that you have it. Your daddy gave it to you and he thought of you and he loved you, but then turn around and see your mom in pain. So it was like I could never really enjoy the love from my father because it caused her pain. And then wanting something and seeing the pain in her eyes to say no to me, but making it about me, that was something wrong with me because I wanted it. You see what I'm saying? It's like in that whole thing is like that's been your childhood with them, And so it's not I'm come from a divorced family. I get it. It's not okay to love them both. Like they can't, maybe your dad could handle it better than your mom, but usually there's pain. It's just pain, and then we represent that love they lost. Right. So, and it does, when we're little, we don't understand it. It's just a lot, but we carry that with us into our world. Right. And one of the things that you had shared was that you live in Poland now, but you grew up in LA with your mom. And I'm assuming your father is in Poland. Am I correct?
moved with me to help me because I didn't speak any Polish whatsoever, and I moved here for a horse.
I love you.
Supported me in that, and my mom and my sister didn't want to talk to me for a while because I just up and left. It was
Sure.
just, yes, this is the right decision. I'm going
Sure.
for it.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that you brought that up. I never connected all of those
Yeah.
together.
So I also have an
Right.
assignment to help reconcile and remove some of the blocks.
Yes, Lord.
So, like the experience when you were, was it third grade that you said you were doing
Yes. The
the artwork?
art. Yeah. And they couldn't.
So you have three columns. The first column would be what happened.
Mhm.
The second column would be how I felt. And the third column would be
How,
the belief that I received.
like the message I
The
kept telling
message, the message I received,
right.
right? And it may not be a true message about you, but it was a true message
In the
then
moment.
that was connected to the experience. So, so for example, so what you do is the first step is you just kind of sit and like you do so well is that you just kind of close your eyes and you say, what are experiences around money growing up that had made an emotional impact, right?
Mhm.
And so you have that first experience about your third grade class. That's what happened. How did I feel? And then what was the message? Then I received a garbage bag of toys from my
Yeah.
dad for Christmas. He was excited. My mom looked upset. How did I feel? Not worthy of them. What was the message? So you just do an inventory of those things, right? And you can make a list of three things, 10 things, 20, 200. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Whatever comes up for you.
Right.
And after that, you'll create some awareness because you'll have the emotional experience and the beliefs connected to it.
Right.
But the next step would be to spiritually lay it down on the altar in a spirit of forgiveness.
Mhm.
That that I am making a choice to forgive and lay this whole thing down on the altar
Mhm.
and ask it to be removed from my heart. Now, a lot of it may have been removed, a lot of it may be in
Yeah.
process, but you want to make that declaration. I'm laying this down on the altar and I'm asking it to be removed. And you can do something symbolic with the list. You can
Yeah.
burn it. You can do something, bury it, whatever you want that represents that. Because what happens is that when you honor those experiences
Mhm.
by giving them attention, it starts to take the power away from it. It creates insight between the emotional beliefs, the emotional wounds, and the beliefs connected to it. And it starts to set you free.
Yeah.
And what will happen is that there'll be a lifting, just like you felt in your
Yeah.
heart. There'll be a lifting, but we're going to be dealing with some of those deeper messages that possibly could be blocking you in certain ways because that's the second piece to oftentimes we have visions of the future and we have manifesting dreams
Yeah.
and we affirm those, which is very much part of it. But sometimes we skip this part of the process.
Right.
But you put both of them together and you will definitely have movement.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And Kasha, one of the things that you talked about that you've done a lot of work, and I can tell that you have, and you talked about the inner child. So, one of the things that we do a little different than that, and only because doing my own work and then working with people, I didn't have a lot of time, just it wasn't like I had them in a hospital for 3 months or a halfway house, right? Individual. I get 40 hours a week, a year with them, right? And so what I created was a concept that I separated the inner child from the magical part of us, and all the good stuff to the wounded part of us, the wounded child in us. And then from there, the part of me that reacted to try to protect me from ever getting hurt again in my world, right? So and then the inner child, the happy one, the magical one goes with my authentic true self, who I really, really am and who God intended me to be. But walking on this earth is very difficult, to not get hurt, right? So through the process, it's like what I've realized for myself and what I've helped people with is that, we have a voice from a wounded part, that something happens and I hear this. And then I hear my protector, the part of me that wants me to not be hurt anymore, how to handle it, right? And it was like, in this wound of not receiving the dream, but also all the way back from third grade, having this creative thing from your true self come out and no one ever seeing it, right? There was no value. Then now you're drawing this is your business and it's coming out of you and it's beautiful and it is selling, right? But then there's this message, right? That no one's going to see it. And then for her, she just makes you work harder and harder and harder and harder. Where my thing is that I want, before you draw or in the midst of about to sell something, what does the wounded part say? No one's going to buy it. It's not worth anything. Then the protector says, well, we need to add more to it, or we're going to have to do 7 more to get the money that I need. Allow those two things to be said. My wounded self and my protective worker, the person that thinks I have to work 50 times harder. And then allow the quietness to come, because it will. And then listen, what is the answer? Because then the answer will come and it will say, you know what? I'm not selling this thing for enough. I need to go up. And this is beautiful. And this will bless others. And God, I send it to you to send to the right person. And what is the price on this thing? And allow that to be able to be the truth of what it is worth. And in that separation, instead of all of that being in one, and then, just pushing you and then being exhausted and, oh my God, I got to go get another one, do another one, do another one, do another one, hurry up. It's like in that allowing them to have a voice, and then Kasia gets to make a decision in her quietness, in the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's our
Yeah.
program, Transform You, is
Yeah.
that we help people separate those
that.
voices and manage them so that you, the true self, can have your vision, your
Right.
dream. It can be strong. You can rest. And it allows God's spirit to work through you too in a full and powerful way.
Right. And I think too, that's the block, is that exactly what we were doing was like really understanding the wounded messages that you came from and then making peace with that, right? And taking back your power and then taking back the goodness from your parents. And then from over here, that this part is driven, to show that it is worth something, And she pushes and she makes you work 12, 15, 16-hour days. And it's like, okay, because if there's no worth, she's got to prove there is worth, right? Versus, what do they have to say? And the way I allow them to be depowered is allowing them to have a voice. And in their voice, only then do I get silence.
Yeah.
And then I can hear my truth, my heart, my soul, my spirit.
Let's land the plane there.
Yeah.
That's really good. When we each say, what is going to be your takeaway from today? What is it that you received today?
Yeah, I'll go. Kasia, one of the things that my wounded child is crying right now for you because she knows you. She knows what it's like to love, and then the lost love for the parents. Their lost love becomes my love, and that confusion as a child, and how to navigate all of that with less pain for them and myself. And, I really feel it. And what I'm taking away is your strength of not allowing their missed opportunity of love to stop you from all the love that you have. And you started this with, I moved here for a horse because it's your love.
Yeah, so good.
It's beautiful.
What's your takeaway, Kasia?
I feel like I have so many, but the biggest thing right now is I just feel so inspired and I feel so much admiration for both of my parents. Whereas I feel like most of my talks with people, therapists, when I'm doing this inner work, focuses on the negative. And that's what I've also been doing in my processes, is to focus on the pain, to feel it to its fullest and release it. But what's really exciting for me, and I feel like my eyes are glazing over, is that you guys have helped me uncover a couple memories that are really quite positive and quite happy. And, most of my childhood has been blocked out. I don't remember stuff. So as I'm doing the onion layers and I'm peeling it back, then I'm remembering more and more. And most of it, 99% of it, is related to trauma.
Yeah.
However, this session has enlightened me and given me some happy memories and some really positive things to look back on. And I see it and feel it in a different way. I just feel like I have no frustration for my parents, but just more admiration, and how I feel so lucky to have exact opposites, black and white, because I can truly take the best of both worlds. Like I have that. I have the opportunity to do that. Not everyone has that.
That's right.
So I just feel really blessed after our
Yeah. That's beautiful. My takeaway, Kasia, is that I've never seen this before like I have in with you, was that when you love one parent, you got to kind of hold back from expressing that to the other because they're on the outs.
Yeah.
But how that also happens inside of us, that the best of the one that you've internalized almost like has to hide itself from the best of the other on the inside. And that's why I think the celebration of their love when it was working is real important, because it's going to allow you to embrace the best of both and actually own that, and for it to be activated in your life. So I have great hope for you. And I can't wait till you get to your 88 horses and then on down. So it'll happen. You have it in you. Yeah.
You do have it in you.
So why don't you tell our audience about perhaps your coaching, your artwork, and whatever else you and how to get in touch.
Yeah, how they can find you
if they would like to get in touch.
Amazing. Thank you. So my artwork is on my website, which is kasiabukowska.com. I'm also very active on social media. So if you literally even just on Google type in Kasia Bukowska horse art, then I will pop up everywhere. And my horse coaching, I'm most active on Instagram and on TikTok. And that is, my handle is equestrian Kasia Bukowska. And so there I talk more about how horses are our mirrors and how I've used my horses in my healing process, and how you can also yourself, if you have a horse or you go and you ride a horse or you have any kind of contact with a horse, how you can start to decipher their messages and those body signals and what they're making you feel, how to interpret that to have your own kind of private therapist in a way, that they're showing you the way. So Instagram, number one. I will also give you guys the link to maybe put down below. I'm having a webinar on August 23rd. It's called Your Horse, Your Mirror, where we're going to be doing a deep dive into exactly the methodology of how to recognize the signals and why this horse is in your life. Why, even if it's not your horse, you're just going to some barn, taking lessons on a horse, there's so much that this horse is telling to you and speaking speaking your truth from your subconscious, and you're not seeing it. So I'm giving all the secrets away of how to understand that and translate what the horse is trying to tell you.
That's
Wow,
great.
that's
Well,
awesome.
send the link
Yeah,
to us.
send
We'll
it.
put it with the show notes.
Yes.
And
Amazing.
we sure
Thank you.
appreciate you coming, and I know it'll benefit our audience. And
Yeah.
so until next time, we thank you all for joining us on Transform You.
Yes.
And until next time,
Have a
we say,
voice. Yes.
have a voice. Are you ready to embark on a journey of personal transformation and inner healing? Our intensive online coaching program is designed for individuals and couples seeking to reconnect with their true selves. Dive into our lessons, activations, live coaching calls, and educational readings tailored to uncover limiting beliefs, healing emotional wounds, and to cultivate a life filled with authenticity. Transform yourself, transform your relationships. It's time to transform you. See the description below to see how to join Transform You.